Thank you for joining us for another edition of the Florida Chamber's Bottom Line. I'm David Hart, Executive Vice President at the Florida Chamber, and our special guest today is Michael Carlson, Executive Director of the Personal Insurance Federation of Florida. Michael, welcome to the program.
Thank you, David. I'm happy to be here.
Michael, our two organizations have had sort of a shared mission over the last several years of working on insurance reform and seeking out public policy ways to strengthen our private markets in Florida. I wonder if you would share with our viewers a few of the successes we've seen and how the private markets are beginning to return and improve as a result of the things we've advocated for together.
Well, thank you, David. That's a very good question, and I'm pleased to be here. And I would have to say that through the work of the Chamber and other key stakeholders who have an interest in the viability and the health of the Florida property insurance marketplace, we have made very good changes. With the leadership of Governor Scott and successive legislative leadership teams, we've made smart incremental changes toward market health. We are in the best position as a marketplace that we've been in for about 10 years now. And our companies are more solvent, they're better able to pay claims, and most importantly, our backstop, the Hurricane Catastrophe Fund, our Citizens Property Insurance Corporation, which as you know is a government-supported entity, are both in the best fiscal shape they've been in. I think there are three key things that we've done as a state over the last several years to get us into this position. Number one, we took Citizens rates, we moved them to a position of sustainability. We moved them from a position of gross inadequacy toward a more competitive standing, which has allowed and enabled private companies to come in and competitively take Citizens policies. That's really important. That's caused Citizens policy count to drop. The second thing we've done is we've created the Citizens Clearinghouse program, which has fostered the movement of policies from Citizens to the private market. Citizens policy count has gone from about 1.5 million policies down to roughly 700,000 now. Very good news for Florida consumers and businesses. The third thing I'd mention is we made a dramatic approach to changing the way sinkhole claims are adjusted to remove fraud in the sinkhole claiming process. It was a huge cost driver for both Citizens and the private market. The effect of that has been remarkable. It's driven down costs and it's made all of our companies more healthy.
Michael, later this month, January 26th to 28th to be specific, the Florida Chamber will host our annual Insurance Summit. You've been a longtime attendee of the Insurance Summit. And this is a gathering of business leaders, industry experts, and elected officials, public policy makers to come together and talk about insurance-related issues. If you're someone out there considering coming to the Insurance Summit, what would you expect some of the top issues to be discussed? Why should they come?
It's an important gathering. In fact, I would say that the importance cannot be understated. The prominent thought leaders, the prominent stakeholder groups, company executives and representatives, legislators, elected officials, academics, all gather under the auspices of the Chamber at this event to talk about the problems that we face in the property insurance and other insurance markets, and to more importantly talk about solutions, smart solutions to address these problems. I'm very excited about this coming summit. I think that one of the key panels is on the workers' compensation system. Trial lawyers today are challenging the very smart reforms that have been enacted in Florida since 2003. And if they are successful, you'll see cost increases in the workers' comp system, which will affect Florida businesses, Florida consumers. I think other panels that will be very important are panels relating to the status of the Citizens Clearinghouse program. How well is it working? How well are we shifting risk from the state to the private sector? I think we'll also have a very good panel on the Hurricane Catastrophe Fund to consider its status in the marketplace now and possibilities for change in the CAT Fund over the next several years. And finally, I think we'll have various elected officials who will be speaking about their perspectives on the insurance marketplaces, their visions on the insurance marketplaces, and various academics who I think will give some really interesting thoughts. I'm particularly interested in a presentation about what the foreign capital markets think of Florida as a place to invest capital in the insurance area.
Michael, in the short time we have left, I want to ask you about cost drivers you and I, our organizations, and many other Floridians are concerned about cost drivers that are driving up the cost of various forms of insurance. Can you quickly tell us a little bit about what those cost drivers are?
I can, and it's an ongoing problem. There's a worrisome trend developing in Florida with a cost driver that's particularly related to roofing and water claims in the homeowners property insurance market. There is a legal tool called an assignment of benefits, which we believe is being abused by a cottage industry of unscrupulous vendors and trial lawyers that is causing rates to increase. We need to do something about that. We hope there'll be some sensible reforms discussed during the panel, and I hope people will take a lot away from that.
Michael, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your partnership on these important issues. On behalf of the Florida Chamber, I want to invite you to join us at the Florida Chamber's Insurance Summit on January 26th through the 28th. You can register by visiting our website at floridachamber.com. Thank you for joining us on another edition of the Florida Chamber's Bottom Line.